Welcome everyone to Making a Difference.tv. This week I have a new show host to introduce to everyone. Her name is Amanda Pinklight, and she lives down in, I think you live in California, Amanda?
Yes, I'm in Southern California.
Wow. Yeah, that's you're not far from our friend Yogi Ramesh Pandey, and I understand you've created a friendship with him.
Yes, I love Yogi. In fact, when you were there setting us up, he was actually messaging me. That's what I was looking at. He wants me to start, he's asking me if I'll start a laughing club here in Orange County, California. And of course, the answer is yes, absolutely.
Yeah, we all need a laughing club. Thank God I have Yogi. I don't need a laughing club with him.
No, I laugh the whole time when I talk to him. It's incredible how amazing I feel after just speaking to him.
Yeah, I love the guy so much. I'll have him on tomorrow, my regular show with him. But hey, this show's about you and not about our friend Yogi. So I want to focus on you now. So give us a bit of your background, your education, some of your interests, you know, what you've been up to. I see you're a huge podcaster. You like to do podcasts almost daily.
Yes, I have a YouTube channel, Pinklight 999, and I actually started that on January 1st of this year. So that's all pretty much new this year. I wasn't doing that before. So my background, we can go all the way back to the way back, and I actually have a strange background, probably. I went to the University of Michigan, and I double majored in history and politics, and I thought I would be a politician someday, but it clearly was not my path. I lasted about 6 months in DC, and I knew that wasn't for me, and I hopped on a plane, and I moved to California. So from there, I'd say that my journey of awakening, I mean, I probably was always at some level awakened and then shut down, and then became like back on the path when probably 2004, and had some very spiritual experiences that I talk about on my YouTube channel. And then in 2008, really got the wake-up call from spirit to remember that I was a spiritual being having a human experience. And that was really a new concept to me because I was very much in the 3D. I wasn't spiritual or religious or anything, actually. So after that, 2010, maybe 2011, I decided that I was going to try to start to explore it. So I took some year-long courses. One of them I was trained and certified as a clairvoyant intuitive person. And the other one I did training as a somatic cellular release life coach.
Let's stop there for a sec.
Okay.
With your clairvoyant capacities, is that something you were born with, or did you train on that, or?
So I absolutely was born with it, and I think I utilized it until I went through some traumatic experiences in childhood, and I shut it down. I can go back now and remember things and see some things, but I'm still processing my wounding that I brought into this lifetime to work on. So it didn't really come out until I had my second child, who had these incredible abilities that just blew me away. And I was like, what is going on? I need to figure this out so I could understand him. And as I started to figure it out, it started unfolding again in me. So I realized I was an empath, something I actually didn't even know what that was, or that word existed. So that was something I'd had from childhood, but was really shut down in my childhood experiences. So I mean, I think everybody has an ability to be clairvoyant. I think it's within everybody to open up. I just was called to do it, and I heeded the call and started the work.
Beautiful. I love it. Okay, so who are some of the people that you've met or books that you've read that have really had a strong influence over your spirit?
Well, I'm just going to be completely honest. I would say that in 2004, I started with The Secret, and I remember literally pumping it through. I had a speaker system throughout my whole house, and I would play it every single day. after that,
Well, tell us more about what that is. I don't know what The Secret is. Sorry.
Oh, The Secret? The Secret's a book that was written. Actually, I was kind of a housewife back then, and well, I still am, but my kids were super little. Like, I had babies back then. So The Secret was, and I didn't really watch Oprah, but it was on an Oprah show, and I think my friends watched it and kind of brought it out to me. So it is like an hour and a half long. Maybe it's that longer. But it's a show that talks about and brings in all these people who are kind of manifesting and living their lives the way they want. Like, I think it's Jack Canfield from Chicken Soup for the Soul is on there. Just a lot of spiritual people, full of wisdom and learning. So it's talking about the law of attraction and attracting positive experiences and things into your life, creating your life the way you want it to be. So I'd say that was a very monumental moment in my life. And then I actually watched Joel Osteen back in 2005, 2006. I read some of his books. He was a super, I guess, positive preacher. People would call him a prosperity preacher, but some of his messages really resonated with me. After that, I fell into James Van Praagh, who wrote, he's a medium, and he talks to souls that have crossed over or maybe stuck in the in-between dimensions. And I had lost a nephew. So that was really, it really resonated with me. And I remember watching the Ghost Whisperer TV show with Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Oh yeah, I used to love that show.
Yeah, it really spoke to me. And that was what precipitated my first experience, or the first adult experience with a spirit, my nephew. So from there, Doreen Virtue spoke very loudly to me in 2008 in the book, I think it's called The Light Worker's Way or something. But when I read it, I was like, whoa, like that was what I was feeling within me. And when I say that, another book that was super powerful that actually my dad gave to me when I was in my 20s in college was The Celestine Prophecy. And I reread that again a couple years ago, and I was just floored that I was like, I'm doing everything that they were talking about in that book. And I remember reading it thinking, wow, that would be so cool if I could do that. And then, years later when I reread it, because I'll go back and reread books, because every time you experience something or watch it again, you see something new. Like, we don't hear things until we're ready to hear them, or we don't read them and resonate with them until we're ready to open that within ourselves. So when I reread that book, that floored me that, 20 years later, I was living that life already. So
I can really relate to that, because I saw Astral City about 5 years ago, and then I started watching it again about 6 months ago, and it really, really blew me away. I saw so much more in that movie.
Well, you introduced me recently to Astral City, and that was huge. That had a profound effect on me. I'm still thinking about that all the time. And that really resonates with the series of books that I just completed, which is The Law of One. And that it's along the same lines. So that really was perfect timing, meeting you. You sent me the link to that movie, and I absolutely just love that movie.
Well, I'm creating the family of families of healers and activists. And we met through Anonymous Radio, who is someone who's been helping me set the station up technically. And we're constantly sharing people we know. And it's beautiful. I mean, sometimes your best friends are people who live on the other side of the planet. I mean, it's just the way things are. I mean, we have this incredible thing called the internet, and I believe it's the key. Actually, using it appropriately could pretty much fix everything on this planet. I don't want to get into that right now, but we're very fortunate to have things like what we're doing right now. It allows us to connect with people who we never ever could have connected with. It's just truly, it actually is almost like a spiritual connection.
So it's funny that you say that about the internet, because I see the internet it's interesting because I think that esoterically things can be taken and strewn to be a negative way. And something that I always saw as very negative was the number 666. And I know that's used in very demonic practices, but I had a friend who came forth to me and said, well, I want to give you a different perspective on it. He goes, if you go back to the ancient Hebrew Bible, to the beyond ancient, you will find that the 6th letter of the ancient Hebrew alphabet was W. So if you have 666 and you take WWW and you equate that to the apocalypse, right? That's the World Wide Web, when all truths become known. So even the word apocalypse has been misconstrued in our society to think of something bad. But really, if you go look at the Greek foundation of the word, it means when all truths become known. And that's what the World Wide Web is doing. It's bringing all truths out for all of us to see and to experience. And it's truly causing this mass awakening on our planet.
Yeah, I mean, not all truths are, I mean, I guess you kind of like, I keep my distance from some truths, but because I'm not a dark person, but
well, that
you gotta know it's out there, folks. I mean, it's when you don't know, that's when you get in a lot of trouble. So it's all positive in everything. To me, the universe is absolutely perfect. Everybody's complaining about it. Even I do sometimes, but really it's just low consciousness when you start complaining. Everything happens for a reason. And we met for a reason. There's something very special about you've got to, there's some people who know a lot, and then there's some people who are excellent teachers. The people who can teach are the ones who can connect with others. And you have that skill. You have that rare skill. There's a lot of people who know a lot, but man, they're terrible teachers. So you've got that certain human quality I think is really going to be powerful on the network, and you're going to hopefully create a huge following for yourself.
Well, thank you so much, Brian. I am so grateful to be here. I've been praying about this. I really wanted to get out and do a talk show. So when you offered me this opportunity, I was just like, it was the only word I have is euphoria, because I was so excited. I just want to get out and make a difference on the planet. And so I'm super, super excited to be here.
Well, that's it. That's one of the callings, make a difference, shine your light, share your wisdom, and we all have to do it. We all have our different guides. Heaven isn't one place, isn't one God, in my opinion. It's a whole range of beings. I was fortunate to have a very enlightened being come to me at age 10. I had no idea what it was all about till later in life, but wow. I mean, creator beings, they're not that common, and they're continuing to create the universe and other universes, and I feel very blessed, and she's filled me with a lot of wisdom and given me a lot of purpose. So yeah, but yeah, she really loves you, and she thinks you're amazing, and yeah, we got to get you out there, because you have incredible I don't know, you just have, people have walls around them, layers.
Yes, I know, like that's kind of the work I'm helping you I'm going to help you tear those walls down. We're going to dig in and get to the core.
Yeah, you see, you're good at taking down those walls, because you kind of take the path of least resistance. And I too have tried to do that with my activist ideas, because we can change things in a way that is not aggressive, that is not painful, that is actually liberating. So it takes a while to get the message out there. New ideas can take 10, 20 years to get out there. So I just have to be patient. But you're going to really be good at helping people on your show. And hopefully you can help people who are activists to wise up and to look.
So when you
have
talk
a more open mind. Because the
path,
biggest problem in my field is that people are narrow-minded and they don't want to admit it.
well, it's just part of their path of healing, right? And really, I always think everything's reflected back to us to heal. And when something comes at me, I go within to kind of pull it apart. But the path of least resistance, what you just talked about there, is so essential. I'm a follower also of Abraham Hicks, channeled by Esther Hicks. And that's what she teaches in this law of attraction, that when you're in resistance, you're kind of going the wrong way, right? You don't want to keep smacking your head. You want to turn your boat around and go with the flow. You don't want to keep paddling upstream. So I'm very aware of that and conscious of that. And, I can be a little stubborn too and strong-willed, but I really try to be introspective and say, okay, why am I meeting this resistance? And what is here for me? Where's that pearl, right? Because when that sand gets in that oyster and it irritates it, it comes out with a pearl. So when I'm irritated, I'm always looking for that pearl within myself so I can share it with others and provide tools to others so I can help them help themselves. That's my goal.
Beautiful. So do you have any people in mind? Are you going to do your own show? Are you going to what's sort of the format?
Yeah, so I'm going to do my own show.
Or you're going to bring on guests?
I'm going to bring on guests, and then sometimes it may just be me. You know, I was thinking about doing a series on some of the books that I've read, how they've resonated with me, how they've changed me. I want to bring on some of my mentors and my coaches and people that have made a difference in my life. And I really just think it's going to evolve from there. And then if I have any feedback from people, hopefully people will watch and I'll get some feedback, then, you know, I create from that space too. But I'm always trying to share with what's going on in my life. So wherever I am, that's what I'm going to be putting on my videos and putting on the show, because you know, it's showing up for a reason within me. And then I pray that it will resonate with other people and speak to them and help them.
Yeah, I like that about your videos. You're very much in the moment. You're dealing with very practical things that happen every day, and the people, you know, need to know about this stuff. And
yeah, it's just life.
How to work through it and try to see the positive in everything, you know, and that's beautiful. You know, my mom passed away, you know, well, that's the way the universe works, folks.
It does.
A lot of cultures celebrate when people die.
That's how I feel now. I see it so differently because I am so aware of the infinite, you know, that we are infinite beings just having this human experience. And so I don't carry that sorrow. And it's funny because even as a child, like I didn't go to funerals, or I remember my whole family going in to view somebody in a casket, and I wouldn't have anything to do with it. And I didn't know why at the time, but to me, like that was just the avatar that was sitting empty. I knew they were still present. I knew that their soul was so much more. And so I don't hold that grief and that sorrow. You know, it's sad when someone leaves our life, like your mom, and that touches me as an empath very deeply. But I also know that your mom's sitting right there on your shoulder. So that's beautiful. You know, she'll help continue to guide you, and she's part of your soul family, and that will never end. That is infinite. Yeah,
I hope so. Anyways, I'm not sure if you're right on the money on that, because my poor mom had some issues, and yeah.
But there's fragments.
You know what Let me just tell you this story about
okay.
Okay. In oh God, I don't want to put myself up on a pedestal, but I think I'm a bit more on top of what's really going on in this planet and the universe than my family. And I was brought up in very super mainstream, super materialistic family, and from almost day one, I rebelled against it. I never bought into it. So I'm kind of like the black sheep in the family. So, but you know, the movie Astral City, right? This is pretty cool. So my sister comes to see my mom last summer. And she said, I don't know why she remembered to say it, but she said to me, she said, you know what? Dad's in the hospital. Now, that's pretty cool, because we know from the movie Astral City that when you come out of the lower level that most people, I think, go to, because we're just not very spiritually aware right now, you go to this infirmary. It's like an infirmary on a floating planet, or floating kind of like city, I guess, better word for it than planet. There's 2,000 of them running around the planet right now. So she saw that. She saw that. Okay. Now she didn't. Now, why my sister thought to tell me that was pretty cool, but you know, there were some pretty powerful messages in there for me and for her. Though my sister didn't get it. I told you, Dad, you know, spent some time downstairs. Both my parents were, you know, low consciousness people. My whole family is. My sister's kind of waking up, but yeah, no, yeah.
Well, I'm a black sheep, kind of like you. I'm a catalyst and instigator, but I'll share some things like this, right? Because I think our soul fragments throughout our lifetime. So when I say I see your mom on your shoulder, I see like the higher aspect, the higher self, the higher dimensional being, not the soul aspect that came here in the physical form. I even believe when we're here in the third dimension, there's an aspect of ourself that's in the sixth dimension. So as there's I think everything is collective together. And once just some different thoughts. I'm gonna put some other stuff out there.
Manifesting. Yeah, you're talking multi-manifestation. Yeah, that's, yeah.
So I see it in many forms, and when I work with people, I try to help them find those fragments. I believe that the fragments that happen to our soul in this lifetime, when we have those traumas, those wounds, and those triggers, those aspects get stuck, right? So somebody could behave almost like a middle schooler, like an adult could go back into that middle school type of aspect, but then that says to me, you know what, we left a fragment of your soul back at that time and space, and it's calling you, it's creating this experience again to remind you that it's stuck. So let's go back to that moment in time and heal that and remerge the soul back together. And that's the somatic cellular release coaching therapy that I do, where we're really healing it. And I don't even think it's just this lifetime that happens in. I think it's multiple lifetimes. I think you carry it over. It comes from all types of aspects. So there's a lot of stuff I can get into, and I just want to help people, right? I just want everyone to heal, to raise to a higher vibrational frequency, to tune their radios, into the higher dimensional radio stations and receive everything for themselves.
Love it. So who are some of, what are some of the, you talked about therapy. It wasn't somatic therapy. What was the term you used?
Okay, so the coaching therapy that I was trained in is called somatic cellular release life coaching. So I believe that, I believe that our Akashic records are within us and within our DNA, and everything is held within the cells of the body. So we are unconsciously creating our experiences because we're not aware. We've suppressed that emotion or that experience, that trauma, but that trauma still sits in our cells, and it's like a computer program, and it's just sending it out to the universe, and people are answering that ad. So we go out kind of, when we get down to the core of somebody, maybe for me, I'll just share mine. Like, I have a unconscious commitment to the universe that I am worthless. So what am I going to do? Unconsciously, I'm going to send an ad out to the universe that everyone, apply. Please apply here now to prove to me, to show to me that my commitment to the universe, that I'm worthless, is valid. And then, you do this interview process, and the worst of the worst show up, and they trigger you, and you're like, why is my life so difficult? And why am I so worthless? It's not that I'm worthless, it's that I unconsciously held that within my cells from a traumatic experience that generally happened in childhood and became a repeating pattern in my life. So then we're going to go back to that trigger time, that experience this lifetime, or sometimes I take people into prior lifetimes, and we're going to find that piece of that fragment of the soul that got stuck there. And what I see is it's a separation from the light. So I'm like, look in a well, look in a closet. Did they go under the bed? Like, where did that piece of you go? And when you started to create a persona to deal with that. So a lot of times when we're experiencing traumatic events, a persona steps in and is just in an autopilot, because that was our survival mechanism for getting through that experience in childhood. But you turn around at 40 years old, and that persona really isn't benefiting us anymore. So I find those personas, masks, those other aspects to ourselves, and we clear them out. And I will tell you, it will change your life. Like, you could be having a tremendous amount of drama in your life, and we could do a couple sessions, and your life could turn on a dime, and you will be consciously creating, and everyone in your life will start treating you differently, showing up differently. And not because you had a conversation with them, but because you worked on what's within you. And now what you're sending out to the universe is conscious. It's no longer unconscious. And you're creating, you're manifesting. I believe that we are absolutely creators, but it's just kind of, we've been amnesia. We've been shut down from it. We don't really remember who we are or what we can do because of all these traumas that we experience here in the third density. So once we're able to unravel those, you will absolutely be creating a magical, miraculous life. And I'm living it. It's fantastic. And this is how I'm bringing my kids up. I've written papers on it. It's on my blog. I have on my website, amandapinkerman.com. I have a whole paper on it. So I'm really excited to kind of dig in and share that. And I want to share the mentor who coached me and trained me. I would love to bring her on as a guest. So, and actually, this is where I met Sherry Wisdom. She's really the one who's kind of gotten me out there and got me started on radio shows. We trained together in this therapy. So.
Okay. All right. Sherry, yeah, she's
full circle.
very beautiful spirit. I've had a few chats with her. I don't know if she's still doing her show. It sounded to me like Yogi had a big impact on her. So
she
hopefully.
did, and I'm super excited. She is going to be starting with someone else and going on a different path. So this is fantastic. I've really been pushing her, and I wanted to do a positive show. I was like, we really need to be doing positive shows. Like I'm over the conspiracies. I'm over all the negative. I don't want to feed into it. I think it just creates more of it. So she's moving we're moving in the same direction. We really, we're in synchronicity a lot. So it's good.
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah, I like that. I like that. I love it when people, you know, when they start working together, because this is one of the great spiritual lessons is to actually learn to work with other people, not just yourself. This is another level, actually. If we could get even 30 people who are very powerful spiritually together and focused on things, we could heal people. We can lower levels of violence, problems, starvation. This has all been proven. Yeah, so, you know, that's one of the long-term goals of making a difference, is to get us to work together too on certain projects, conferences, and you name it. Yeah, we got to get the word out there. This world is very easily changed. There's no certainty in anything. Prophecy is a warning to me. It's not anything that's certain. There's a lot of negative prophecies out there, but to me, they're just warnings, and we can get beyond them. Yeah, that's my battle plan, anyways.
Well, I'm ready to sign on and
love,
be part of your
love, and more love. That's what we need.
only love. That's why it's Pinklight, right? So my last name is Pinkerman. There's no mistake in that, and I'm just going to bring that love, that pink light to the planet, and I want to share it with everyone.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Very excited.
Okay, well, I think that's a great introduction. If there's anything else you wanted to add about your show, let us know. But I think people got a sense of who you are now, and we'll get you up on the site. And yeah, I'm looking forward to watching your shows.
I'm looking forward to recording. Thanks for inviting me, Brian. I'm super excited.
All right. Okay, well, there you go, folks. The Pinklight Project with Amanda Pinklight will soon be a regular show on makingadifference.tv. I'm not sure if you're planning to do one a week or whatever you can do. You seem to want to do a show every day, so that's perfect. Do as many as you're inspired to do, and I'm looking forward to it, and I'm sure we're going to pick up some audience from you, because you've got that special, I guess, that ability to connect with others. And yeah. Okay, so thanks a lot for coming on my network and accepting my invitation.
Thank you, Brian.
Okay, I love you,
Love
and
you.
we'll see you soon.
All right, take care. Have a great day. Thanks.
Okay, bye-bye.